Hey, how are you, Scott?
Oh, it's been a whirlwind week.
It has, hey, yeah. It's been
Yeah.
fun up here. Another windstorm yesterday, but the power's on, and they said the power may go out on another Wednesday. What a anyway, how are you doing other than the trials and tribulations of the United States systems?
Oh, well, I have tuned that out, but I'm just focusing on my my well-being and my work. So I'm working. I'm having some success with the channel. I had a great
I saw.
great premiere of this.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a sec when we get everybody up.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And of course the news from you.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, we're going to talk about that as well. Amazing. First, though, what I'd like to do is talk about a new member of the panel.
Oh.
Okay. And here he is.
Hey, Jack.
Straight Talk with Jack. Hi, Jack. How are you?
Well, I'm in Forks, Washington. If anybody wants to know where that is, if you drive 25 miles north, maybe not even that, maybe, I don't know, maybe 15 miles north, you're at the very tip of the lower 48 U.S. states.
Wow.
Right at that little peak. So, Scott, you and I are almost diametrically opposed here.
Oh, okay. Right across, huh?
Yeah. Diagonally.
Anyway, look at that handsome fellow there. Jack is a fantastic photographer. He sent some photographs today.
We'll have the same one shot.
Of where are you, Jack?
I'm on the Olympic Peninsula. I'm not far from you, Anthony.
I know, but you're close to Jan's apple pie. Just come on up. Anyway,
I have a group of photographers coming tomorrow. I teach photo workshops, so I've got
beautiful. Anyway, we want to say thank you, especially because of the substitutes you've been doing. A lot of people have been away, and Jack, who's always here and adds so much, whether records, music, CDs, stories. He's a professional trumpet player from Indiana University. We like professional trumpet musicians on the stream, and we're very, very happy to have you as part of our team. It's just wonderful. Now we just got to get you writing so we can do reviews for audio. That's the next
editor.
Which brings me to our next slide. Look at that.
Look at
Audiophilia, a review. It says Audiophilia guest post, which we always do for the first review, the sweet vinyl sugar cube. But you can see it's small print. This is a guest post by Scott Wilson of The Pressing Matters and co-host of Audiophilia's Everything Classical Music Livestream. Welcome, Scott, and thank you. So, Scott, thank you so much for joining I guess anyone they call it a trial basis, but we know it's going to be great. Scott's already got a big boy. What do you call it? Scott, a big boy review ready to go.
Yes.
Can't say what it is yet, but it's going to be a debut review of a brand new piece of equipment, and the manufacturer reached out to Scott. It just shows you how much faith they have in Scott. And of course, now he's writing for Audiophilia, and Carl and Jim and I could not be happier. We were so thrilled to have him because he's part of the family, and
I'm thrilled.
This is like the extended part of the family.
The day I got the news, I almost fell on the floor.
Oh, are you kidding? And then, of course, we have our other folks. Of course, famous Jim.
Hey, Jim.
And Carl.
Hello, everybody.
And last but not least, Angelina.
Angelina, Carl.
Hey, Angie, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Just a bit tired still.
I bet. Well, we're going to hear all about the news. So I'll just go through some questions, some comments. Hi, everyone. Hope to find you well. It's the best night of the week. Yes. Anthony, Carl, James, Scott, and Jack, a super awesome crew. Wow. People in the peanut gallery. Yes, absolutely. And then Joey puts a violin in. Jeremy says, happy it's Wednesday night again. Us too. And Scott says, good evening, everybody. I've been away too long. Yeah, you're very welcome back. People come and go, I got an email from Jim. People are emailing me now. Anthony, I'm going out to dinner with the boss tonight. I can't make the show live on the peanut gallery, but I'll watch it. I'll watch the rerun. It's so cute. It's fine. Don't worry. It's there. So yes, good evening, Scott. It's great to have you back. And of course, the great Andrew from Oz. Looking forward to a great show. Haydn Paris Symphony's best recording as well. That would be interesting. I will tell you that the Colin Davis Concertgebouw are very, very good, and also the Joseph Cripps Concertgebouw are very, very good. Jim, do you have some recommendations for Andrew?
Yeah, no, I agree. The Colin Davis is superb. The Antal Dorati ones are also quite good. And yeah, no, I mean they're all. I mean the Hungarian guy. What was his name? I can't remember.
I'll never forget what's his name. Yeah.
You know. Anyway, I can't remember his name offhand because it's 1:15 in the morning and I'm a bit. There you go. Yeah, no, Colin Davis, I think, are my favourites. I think they have great poise and great musicianship, and they're great recordings. So it's well worth finding them out if you can.
Fabulous. And Jeremy suggests, Andrew, for me, it would be Bernstein or Mariner. That's interesting. Two people I would not have thought about. Mariner is, he's the gold standard for recordings and playing. He's just, sometimes he's sitting there and they just downbeat and they play, right? Because they're so brilliant. But you're never going to get a Duff performance.
Mariner's Clock Symphony is great. I've got that on LP.
Oh, it is, eh? Oh, cool.
It always fascinated me how Bernstein was so good with, Mahler and the modern Coplands and stuff. But boy, he could knock Haydn out of the box as well.
Brilliant musician, right? I mean, he's just. Did anybody see that film with Handsome Harry? What's his name? The actor, Maestro. Did you see it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I lasted 5 minutes. I turned it off.
7 minutes I lasted. I'm with you. Did you, Jim? Are you the dissenting voice? Did you like it?
Not particularly, but I actually went to the cinema, and I went with Clara, so I had to sit through the whole
thing. Date, you had to sit there.
Yes.
You're not leaving, Clara. We paid 12 quid for this seat.
Eventually, yeah, 12 bucks it is. The bloody stay until
till the credits. I can see Clara's falling asleep and the credits are going up.
Yeah, shut up and eat your popcorn.
12 quid is about 100 records. At 12 quid, that's about 100 records for Jim. 99 Jim.
That's great. Anyway, that's cranberry sauces. Sky, how are you, Sky? Another adjunct member of the panel. Good evening, all. I agree with Jeremy. Andrew Mariner on Phillips is very good. That's great. Thank you. So thanks for the recommendations. Wonderful. Okay. So tonight, let's see what we've got. So please comment lots and ask lots of questions. Please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Excuse me. Don't be shy. Jump on and show records or ask questions in person or just come out and hang out. There are no wrong questions or silly questions. Anything classical goes. And as you can see, we have lots of space and we have more space. So please come on up. Don't be shy. No guests for the next 3 weeks. It's going to be just records. More new records.
I know what you got in your room.
So, like Michael Fremer's intro. Records, more new records in his New York accent. It's so cute. So the show will return with guests on January the 8th. So just for the gang, the people watching, a little bit of very minor surgery next week, in 3 weeks, December 3rd. So there may not be a show that night. I'll let you know ahead of time. Definitely Christmas Day and New Year's Day, there will not be a show. But until then, until January the 8th, no guests. January the 8th, we're going to have Brian Taylor from the Gramophone in Edmonton. He's a high-end audio dealer and a fine instrument dealer. He's got incredible instruments and also lots of music. So Brian, he's a wonderful guy. He's going to come on the 8th and talk. So I'm going to just show a couple of things before we get going, and then we can do a round table and we'll do the vault and all sorts of things. And of course, building a library. I want to talk about that tonight. So I'm just going to go big for a second, if you don't mind, ladies and gents. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is talk about this one record that I received of a recommendation from my friend Scott from the Pressing Matters. Scott got this. This was the one that he was talking about to chat about the reissues. So get it while you can. It's very good. It's not the be all and end all. I thought it was going to be. It's very, very good. It's well recorded. Rubinstein has a beautiful touch. He has beautiful tone. I don't even think it's Rachmaninoff's Square Concerto. I think the fourth is better. I think the third is better. But it's very good. But of course, it's lovely to have Ryan and Chicago Symphony on a reissue, and Ryan Smith's recut is very, very good. So a recommendation from me and a strong recommendation from Scott. And it was $40. Wasn't a lot. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about some equipment, and these are from Angie. My dear Angie sent me these to review. I was so inspired by them. I've done the reviews already. They're in the can. I'm not publishing them till the new year. The first thing, let's see if I can show you up close. First thing was the Analog Relax. I'm sure you can see that. You can't see the Yakasugi cedar. The Analog Relax EX 1000. Let's see if I can see the cedar. Yeah. And the stylus is, I can't. Where's left and right? There it is. You can see it right there. But look at that stylus card. Isn't that magnificent? $17,750. Now I'm just going to look at Angie's face while I'm talking here. I have a job to do. How in the hell do I keep this cartridge? I'm working on it. I'm buttering her up. I'm sucking up. Yes, Angie. 3 bags full, Angie. What can I do for you, Angie? No, I'm just teasing. But it is. I don't want to give away the review, but but you do get what you pay for. But it's the finest cartridge I've ever heard by some way, right? So that's that one. And which was amazing that she sent me that across the miles. Then of course I got this one, and this one is 12,000. Jan, I wonder if you can help me just get this open, sweetheart, because I'm a big idiot. This is so Angie is a distributor for Analog Relax. She's also a distributor for Airtight. This is the Airtight Supreme, that beautiful little gold nugget. The Airtight Supreme, PC1 Supreme, with a lot of new technology they developed for the engine. It's interesting, and the materials. And that's $12,750. It's also very, very expensive. But it's stunning. What can I say? Angie sent me an email and says, "You enjoying it, Anthony?" What the? It's fantastic. So they're incredibly expensive. They are for hard-bitten, wealthy audiophiles. But if you're an audiophile and you have some money and you want to get the very, very best, they're the best. It's simple. Now, I've not heard all of them, and I just bought the Akita Kai, and I was listening today, and I was like, yeah, the Akita Kai is brilliant too. It's wonderful. It's 12,000 Canadian, very expensive, but it just can't quite match the Airtight, and it's not as good as the Analog Relax. It's as simple as that. So there's that. So talking with Angie's going to be talking about some of the equipment they had at the shows where they had fewer, little cheaper options for people to buy. These are not. These are the world's best cartridges, and they sound it. The Analog Relax, Angie spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, is done by a fellow named Yarushi. And he uses Yakasugi wood, 2,000 years old, from that UNESCO World Heritage Site, Yakushima Island, south of Japan. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. You feel a pride of ownership. I don't own it, but a pride of ownership when you're holding that fridge. So there's that. Yeah, I know. It's amazing. Every time when I was thinking, oh my God, I wish Carl and Scott and you could hear this cartridge. It's really fantastic. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so now I'm going to get out of here. Get rid of my. There we go. So Angie, what do you think about those cartridges? You were right. You told me about
It
you
takes
said
a woman to spoil you.
no kidding. It's not that. It takes a woman. I always say when people tell me, Angie, what's that? She's a woman. She's an audiophile. It's over. Don't even go there. But I will tell you, ever since I've known Angie 35 years now, she knows her stuff, man. And she was mad as hell at me. Well, she wasn't. But she said, you kicked Phase Mation to the curb, Anthony. And she knows I'm a huge Phase Mation fan, and still am.
Hey, Angie, I have a question, and maybe some of the peanut gallery might be thinking of this as well. I think I know the answer, but I have a feeling you're going to educate me a lot better. So there's a phono cartridge for 12,000, and there's one for 17,000. Does one need compensate speakers, amplification to gain everything that cartridge will do? Or if you have a moderate pair of speakers, say a $5,000 to $10,000 pair of speakers, will that cartridge make those speakers sound better? Does it all have
matters. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, does everything have to line up in terms of kind of the same level of gear to make that cartridge worth spending that kind of money on?
More importantly is if you look at just the table itself as a system. So whether the speakers are, 5,000 or 50,000, it matters that the cartridge is compatible with the tone arm and the table. So the whole thing matters more about the turntable itself. The better the source, your $500 speakers will be enlightened, and they will sound like you bought a new pair of speakers. So the most important part is the synergy between the components in the turntable itself. The tone arm, the plinth, the cables, all of that. So once you have that system worked out, everything else is going to be happy, happy, happy.
It's also,
so you don't have to change your speakers.
The impedance of the cartridge and the output of the cartridge. You've got to have a phono stage or a step-up transformer that can do it justice.
Yeah, that's part of the turntable setup.
Yeah.
So the phono stage has to be matching. That's an entire setup right there. So you can't take a turntable and just say, I got a turntable. No. There's so many parts to that table. And yes, the phono stage being able to handle the lower output, because you're talking, 0.2 millivolts, really, really small, teeny tiny signals. So a regular phono stage isn't going to cut it.
Good question.
I just figured that would be something that people may be listening to this that we don't know during the week, and they hear, well, I'll go buy a $20,000 phono cartridge and buy a $1,500
if you buy it from someone like Angie, she will coach you, and she will not sell a $17,000 cartridge to a punter if he's got a NAD phono stage. I know she would. I mean, many people in this business now would. Angie wouldn't. She wouldn't do that.
No.
Okay, guys. So some nice questions, Jack. You got some comments there. Your questions. Just go back to some of these. Wow, it's a lot of questions. Let me just go. Okay, so hi, Angie. Great to see you, Joey.
Hi,
Alan.
Joey.
Why did you read that, Ange?
There he is. It was so nice to meet Angie last Friday at Capitol Audio Fest. Thanks for playing so many records for me. Absolutely. He bought a stash of records, and I said, let's play them. So he had a good find of records, and I had brought a few of my own. So he was busy jotting that down too. I hope you get a chance to buy them too. Some of them were quite nice.
Please come up, Alan, and show us. Don't be shy. You met Angie. That's it.
Come on up. Show them your finds. They were quite good.
Dexterian. Hello, everyone. Hi, Armin. How are you?
Hi, Armin.
And Leanne Lachute says, good evening, everybody. And this is from Robert. Hi, Robert. Jim, can you read that, please?
Hello all. Would someone Please give a favourite modernist 20th century symphony that would be worth diving into. Something off the regular top 10 would be fine. Well, I'll say Walton 1 to start with.
Walton 1, Symphony in 3 Movements by Stravinsky.
Yeah.
That's an incredible piece. And but Walton 1's that, and
Moore and G minor symphony, worth listening to.
that's because Jim went to the Royal College where they played that kind of music a lot.
It's a great symphony. You know.
Yeah, no, I'm just teasing. I don't know it. Yeah, at the
Well,
Royal College
listen.
we play Murren a lot. No, that's a good symphony, and of course the Walton, amazing. It's amazing how many people did not enjoy Maestro at all. So Jack lasted 5 minutes. I lasted 10. Leanne lasted 20 minutes. Yeah, there was so much hype for that movie. That's another problem. He's a talented guy, you know, but
It's a shame that people will watch that and kind of think that that was Bernstein. I mean, there was so much more.
I think that the problem with that film was the last 20 minutes of it, which was just Mahler 2, which was just him pretending to be Bernstein, pretending to conduct Mahler 2 from a recording that Bernstein made in the 70s. And it sort of made the whole thing totally surreal in the end.
and you
I mean,
can't
no
put your
doubting that the acting ability of the guy, he sort of got a lot of the Bernstein mannerisms, but I don't think he sort of added anything to the sum total of knowledge of either Mahler 2 or Bernstein.
Definitely not Mahler 2.
Yeah.
Alan says, good friend. When I did the records, more new records. Okay. Andrew from Oz said, Stravinsky in C. It's very good. I was thinking about the 20 Shostakovich 5, 7, 8. All amazing. Shostakovich 4 and 10 as well. Jeremy Roberts, you might try some of Martineau's symphonies. There's one called D Tre Re, the 3 Ds. Very good symphony. Very good. And Angie from Mars. Angie, I want you to take this guy from Canberra on tonight. He says, technically not cedar.
Mm-hmm.
It's Yakasugi cedar. The goddamn thing's 2,000 years old. The wood for the cartridge.
Now,
Andrew.
the 2,000-year-old tree is actually, they're only allowed to use the fallen trees.
That's right. It's a protected species.
So they're, yeah.
Tell us what you think it is, Andrew. Honestly, I'm just teasing you, Andrew. Would love to know what you think it is. Armin says he's going to give you his car for that cartridge. And Tech Writer says, John Corigliano. I recommend his piano concerto first played by Hilda Sommer. Yeah, Corigliano. He did a recording with the LSO and they went up to it. They didn't like it. Weren't ready. And he just hammered them. James Myers would have enjoyed that. He just hammered the LSO. The third-rate orchestra. Well, John Corigliano. Anyway. The dynamics of first rate and its edge of the seat. Listen, well, I'll have a listen. Scott says, Angie, can you read that?
Sorry, I missed you at CAF, Angie. Scott, okay. I did have a great conversation regarding classical music, pressing with Harry Wasfeld at VPI. They're wonderful people.
They really are. Harry is.
And if you missed me, it's because I snuck out for a cigarette.
That's what she was doing. Another coffee and cigarette. Harry, when I first started Audiophilia 35 years ago, even before Angie, I went down to New York and did a thing called just classical music in New York, classical records, and went to see New Yorkville. And we had brunch with Harry and his then wife Sheila. She sadly passed of cancer, quite young, at the Pierre Hotel in New York. And Harry never forgets that. I'll have to tell Anthony, it cost me $60 to park my goddamn car. Every time I see Harry, that's all he says. But that was it was wonderful. James, would you kindly type these, please, so I can get them right? Type. Are you talking about the symphonies? Oh, okay. Okay, so let me just put those in for you. Okay, so, Murren. Hang on, write that, not typing. Okay. So it's Moeran, right?
Moeran, yeah, Moran Symphony.
Walton 1. And what's the other one? What did we mention?
Walton Symphony number 1.
And I mentioned one as well.
And Stravinsky Symphony in 3 movements, wasn't it?
Yeah, Symphony in 3 movements. Fantastic.
If you're going to listen to the Moran, get the Adrian Bolt Larita recording. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's magnificently recorded, and I think it's the Philharmonia play it. It's sumptuously sounding piece, well worth getting.
Fantastic. There you go, Robert. Hope that helps, bud. Yeah, thank you, Joey. Bradley Cooper was the actor.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for the recommendations. Very much appreciated. And Andrew said, so it's Sugi, but it says Yakasugi Cedar. Anyway, well, I'll do some more research, but who knows? I could come up to show my records, but I'm not sure how to do so technically. It's very simple, cranberry sauce. I'm going to do this. I'll show you in a second. So I'm going to you'll see a post in the peanut gallery, just like a link. Copy that link into your browser, Chrome. It's got to be Chrome, and just follow the prompts, and you'll come up backstage, and then we'll put you on. We'd love to see you. Okay, I'm going to put the link up in about 10-15 minutes. We're going to do some other records in that first.
You may be able to do it on Safari. I do.
That's on the iPhone, though.
On the iPhone.
Yeah, on the iPhone on Safari. Alan said, one of the records I bought is by Adrian Bolt on Larita. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Thomas, I don't think, is Thomas new? Did you recognize Thomas's name? Anyway, welcome, Thomas. Bradley Cooper also directed a Rope Maestro. He's a very talented guy. Okay. So just a couple of things I'm going to add to the stage. So that's Scott's first review. It was wonderful. Wonderful. These are some new records that are in, and they're all going to be digital. They're cut by Sidney Meyer, so I'm sure they're done very well. And I'm not sure what he's like, Jan Soltani. Has anybody heard those?
No.
Nobody heard him. He's on Dutch gramophone, but now Jan Lisecki, Chopin Etudes. I'm going to get that. I think he's a very fine pianist from Calgary, young Canadian fellow, very fine.
Yeah, I heard a couple of them online the other day. Yeah, they're really good.
Well, the Etudes, I'm gonna get those, and of course the great Murray Perret, who's had some illness in the last 4 or 5 years, so he's not performing much. But his the French suites is very, very good. And again, this is like I say, digital is in our audiophile future. It's simple as that. In our analog future, I should say. Now, I thought this was interesting because we talked about this, and I'm going to get this. This is the Tilson Thomas Tchaikovsky Winter Dreams, which is a wonderful performance and a very good recording, if I could remember it. This is going to be done by the Dutch gramophone, the original source. But notice it's 119 euros for one record for about 35 minutes of music. And that's because it's on this white label or something. I don't know. You know what that is? Anybody know what that is? I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, that's one of the records I got in that Boston Symphony box.
Yeah.
For 99p. So there we go.
Amazing. And then, of course, we have, I put this up there because just for you guys, Mastercut Records from Deutsche Grammophon, a revolution in record production. So I'm sure it's an excuse to charge more. And that Angie is getting and sending to me when it comes in, and I will review that for the magazine. And that's the esoteric, and so far they've hit it out of the park. The Deutsche Grammophon, there's been a few that are esoteric. Everyone has been amazing. I've ordered that one. I've purchased that one. I'm not even a big fan of the Fauré Requiem, but it's a beautiful piece. But I just think, Victoria de Los Angeles and Fisher Daysky at the height of their powers will be wonderful. This is an interesting one. It's on Decca. It's got the 3 up-and-coming social media stars. Nicola Benedetti, she's a very fine violinist. Benjamin Grosvenor, he's on Twitter a lot with me. Very nice man. Wonderful pianist. And Shekio Kanno Mason, who's a cellist, and I saw him. Jan and I saw him in L.A. Play the Haydn cello concerto, which was wonderful. He was a very fine cellist. Oh, it's coming up. Okay, so let's remove that. Okay, so I'm going to go first of all to Scott, then Carl. So Scott, we're not doing the vault yet. Let's just talk a little bit about what's coming up for you with that pop record.
Oh, okay.
You just did a wonderful video on this. No, not this one.
Oh.
That's fine. Do that one too.
Well, this is coming up on the channel shortly. A.B. Fawn sent me a copy of this to reveal. It is Sing and Dance with Frank Sinatra. And I missed the first time around, and I'm so excited to open that. I haven't yet. That's mastered by Chris Bellman, and it should be marvelous.
It's magnificent. I'll tell you right now. I got Abby sent me the first one that came out, and he sings "Lover." I think they sang it last week.
Yeah.
And his voice, when he gets the high note at the end, you'll hear it. You'll know it, and you're like, oh my God, incredible.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting for me because I'm mostly used to the Capitol years, and I hadn't really gone too far back. So this is right before that.
Yeah, his voice is incredibly fresh.
Columbia, so
wonderful.
That is coming up, and I just released this video for Analog Productions Atlantic 75 series release of Genesis, selling Nursery Crime. I liked it a lot. I thought it was great.
You did, eh?
Oh yeah.
Would you put it up there as good as Selling England by the Pound?
No, the recording is not as good. The recording. The recording. The mastering is fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
The recording is they had 2 albums before this. Each recording got better and better. But the record's so creative. It's such a joy to listen to if you like Gabriel era Genesis. So
oh yeah.
I do.
Okay, perfect.
I loved it.
I'm going to do a few more comments, then we're going to go to Carl for some streaming, then we'll go to Angelina for a debrief on two very busy audio shows. So Joey wants to pick up that Winter Dreams. I'm definitely going to. And you played Winter Dreams on the weekend? You actually played the symphony, or do you just play the recording? Because that recording is supposed to, like I said, the performance is absolutely wonderful. And it's a very beautiful piece, very underrated. Some of the orchestration is very much like Nutcracker, and the flutes, and it's gorgeous. And Clayton's for a Requiem, yeah. It's okay, Scott. What, not a fan of the Fourier Requiem? I played it, I've conducted it, I've sung it, but yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely. It's lovely. Love the LSO Chamber Orchestra. Now, I'm not sure what that means. So you have to come up, Sky, and tell us. And I know Leanna sung it too. She's a big Fauré fan. I'm a big Fauré fan. I played the Sicilienne on the flute, and I played his Fauré Fantasy. I mean, he's a fantastic composer. But it's just, if I'm going to buy records, if I'm going to spend $100 on a record, and that's how much the Fauré cost me. So, okay.
I think I might have that in a budget reissue. I might try to grab it when we're talking.
Fab. Carl, here we go, buddy. There's our friend Carl, the great professor, Carl Sigmund from Columbia University. So Carl, can you tell us not Harmonielehre, can you tell us what you've been listening to this week on streaming?
All right. So here's one that I kind of came out really recently, and I kind of just really took to it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a wonderful clarinetist.
Right. Yeah.
He's all technique, though, man. And that guy's got technique to burn.
So that was a pleasure to. I just kind of randomly saw it and played it, and I really enjoyed that.
That's the great thing about streaming, Carl. You can just it's like a smorgasbord, right? Oh, I'll do this, I'll listen this. I can see why people love it. It's great for
it makes it in some ways. It makes it fun, but also you can get confused easily by forgetting where you found it. But anyways, whoops, here's another one that this one really fascinated me.
Oh.
It's just guitar, and I really like that Hinostera piece. I just thought that was making, and then I found him playing it live somewhere, posted on YouTube. It was just wonderful. Loved it. So I recommend
Innister is a great composer.
Yeah, I remember the toccata he did in the 70s. Here he has a what's it called? I wrote it down. The piece I like, a guitar sonata, Opus 47 from 1976. I really enjoyed that.
Probably written for Julian Bream, like every sonata was in the 70s and the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, last time when I wasn't here, I guess you were discussing Borodin. I often, when you do things like this, I tend to get fascinated by the people themselves and read up on it. And I wondered if there was a quote I found, and I wondered if you discussed this last week. I don't know, because there were like these 5 major Russian composers at the same time, all getting together as a group of 5, so to speak.
The Mighty Five.
The Mighty Five: Balakirev, Rimsky-Korsakov, Mussorgsky, Borodin, and a guy Kui. And apparently, Rimsky was the only one who really became a serious professional musician. So some people think. And of course, Korsakov said the following quote: "Owing to deficiencies in technique, Balakirev writes little, Borodin with difficulty, Kui sloppily, Mussorgsky messily and often nonsensically." I just thought that.
Well, the problem with Mussorgsky was he pissed all the time. I mean, it was a serious alcoholic. So Rimsky-Korsakov used to finish it. But Rimsky-Korsakov was also a naval officer. He wasn't a full-time composer either. Isn't that amazing? Some great choices there, Carl. Anything else? Or are you just going to wait for harmony?
One thing about music, I forgot to tell you, Anthony. Today in the mail, I got the equipment from Infigo. Their really DAC and their streamer, and with a couple of peripherals that are supposed to be, really cool. So, I haven't even opened the box. I don't have time, but
do you know how much the streamer is?
Okay, I know that the DAC is really expensive. It's like $35,000.
Yeah, the stream is $5,000, but the DAC is $30,000 because it sounded so good. And I said to him, "How much is the stream?" He goes, $5,000. I went, oh wow. I said, "How much is the DAC?" He goes, $35,000. Oh my God. Anyway, thank you, Carl. Wonderful.
I was really, I went home in the afternoon to make sure I was there when the delivery came. I was getting really concerned. Expensive coming to my door. I don't even tell anybody it's expensive. Oh, it's just something. Don't worry about it. And then I hide it in the closet.
Okay, let me give Angie. Whoops. Oh, wait a minute. I had to state. Sorry, man. Okay. Okay. Where's Angie? Got so many people here. It's wonderful. Okay, Angelina, you're solo, my love. Go ahead. Tell us about your trips.
Okay. So Capital Audio Fest, and then I'll do Warsaw. Gary Gill is the organizer for Capital Audio Fest, and he did a fine job as usual. Although he says attendance was up, I don't think it was. But one of the funny things I'll start with, the first day of the show, I go out to have a little break. And there's a guy standing there with a bag of records. And he goes, "Do you know who Aaron Copland is?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Do you know how many people don't know what that is? This is such a shame." So there was an advocate there for classical music. It was interesting. So the show has 120 or so rooms. I have to say it's the usual suspects, the usual exhibitors that do come there. There's a good energy, a positive air, a lightheartedness of a show, not so serious. And this year, what was encouraging, it was something I did, which was bringing more realistic, reachable systems for people and leaving the heavy iron at home. I'll do that at Expona. So it was nice to see that. I brought in a few new products that have not been available in North America. One of them was the PE tables that have a legacy that goes back to 1911. Very slim, $4,000 to $12,000 tables. We also brought in some Italian, 2 products, Synthesis, which had a distributor before, but I'm now the newly appointed distributor. And of course, we showed the new Avant-Garde Colibri horn speakers, probably the least expensive that Avant-Garde's ever presented, at $4,000 per speaker, with an 18-inch sub for about $5.5. And the new Zero Itron, which is a fully active speaker, which I believe is the future of audio. And I see more speakers offering full active speakers. Meridian being one of the oldest, offering full active speakers, where all you see is a pair of speakers and your streamer. What else? VAC, Tube Company, has one of the largest exhibits there, and they were showing with Acora speakers, which Val, the owner, they presented a new lineup of speakers, more affordable range, which again I see is the trend now for at least the next coming year, that we'll be seeing more realistic, reachable products for a lot of people. Typical reviewers running around. Michael Fremer, I bumped into him. Enjoy the Music was there. Ron Resnick was also there. And because we were in Washington, I invited him to listen to the big avant-garde system that Jacob Halburn has, who is a reviewer for Absolute Sound. Not sure what else you want to know. Warsaw. Warsaw is a unique venue. It was my first time visiting and my first time exhibiting. They basically have 3 venues, 2 hotels, one across the street from each other, the Renaissance, and across the street is what's called the Golden Tulip. Then about 10 minutes, 15-minute drive, you go to the stadium, and it's a real state football stadium, where you walk down the halls. The day that I went there was Saturday, and they call that Family Day, which in an audio show to be called a family day, but you did see in the stadium families, kids, and how they pulled it off is phenomenal. I've got a picture on my phone. I don't know how it's going to come up there here, but you can see that's one of the rooms. I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah, we can see. Not too bad.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
But you can see how they displayed the room, and you can see the stadium through the glass there.
Lots of videos as well on YouTube.
Yeah, and that's a nice venue, and it's so easy to walk up and down the hall and see these rooms. Unlike a hotel, which in the Capitol Audio Fest is like a maze. You really need to know your way around. So this was quite easy to maneuver. And in the stadium were all the big league stuff, the big Wilsons, the big Sonus Faber, the big whatever. In the hotels, I saw a lot of new companies that I've never seen before. And all again in the affordable high end. A lot of stuff that's made in Poland. They make an enormous amount of different types of gear, speakers, turntables, amplifiers. So it's nice to see more European products that we don't see on this side of the world. And again, nice people, a lot of reviewers covering it. And I think that's important for the people who can't make it to the show, that the reviewers do come and film and take notes and give us some good feedback, stuff that I wasn't even able to go see. So that was my my 2 ventures.
Fabulous, Ange. My goodness me. What's next for you?
Well, I'm invited to a new dealer that's opening up in Chicago on the 18th. It's like, after that will be shows in Florida, in Dallas, and then Expona,
Scott,
which is the big league. Everyone should go to Expona. If you had to do one show, it is overwhelming, no doubt. But once you get your bearings, which takes about the first day, you just take the directory and just plot down where you want to go. Otherwise, you'll miss. If you go room by room by room, you'll never see the whole show. And there's a
Scott,
lot of live music and events. There's just more activity at the Expona show,
Yeah.
which is nice to be involved with.
Scott, will you be on it? Will you be going to the Florida show again?
Osvaldo invited
I
me.
Yeah.
I've been a couple of years now. Last year I didn't do very well at that show. I was having a few issues, so health issues. But I don't know. I think I might just hold off and go to Expona instead.
Oh, cool. Angie, question from Sky for you, Angie.
Yeah, well, I have an opinion on the Focal Diva Active, but only because I heard my opinion would only be based on what I saw and heard in a show environment. And I think that the concept is amazing, and we will see. It goes along what I believe that there'll be more fully active speakers. This, although are Bluetooth speakers, they are really good. I don't know at that price point if a lot of people are going to get into it. Definitely lifestyle people, minimalistic audio. It's a
They look
very
cool.
attractive.
They look really good.
I'm sorry.
They look really good.
They are very stylish. Yeah.
Okay, so we're
But
gonna
until
now.
I get a pair in my place, I can't really
That's
give you
right.
my opinion of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, in a little while, we're going to go to put the link up, and then we're going to go to round robin and see and the vault and some records. I want to talk about just briefly about Harmonielehre, this piece that I and people in the peanut gallery. If you have an opinion, yay or nay, or do you have a recording or the recording you don't like, let us know. I'm just going to put myself here big for a second, if you don't mind. Okay, so here is the score. And Greta Rimpo, a friend of mine on social media, photocopied it for me, and because it was pretty hard to find. But if I just open it up, you can actually see basically how John Adams writes. It's a lot of repetition, just like Philip Glass. But what I love about John Adams' work is the harmonic progressions that he uses. He also writes some lovely melodies as well. Harmonielehre was written in mid '80s, I think it was mid '80s, and from the San Francisco Symphony and Tilson Thomas, who has a couple of great recordings. And I first heard it in 2005 I told you last week, the BBC Proms with the BBC Symphony playing it, and it just knocked me for six. I fell in love with it. I listened to every recording, every air check I could get. And to me, there was never there was great performances, but it's so fiendishly difficult that I don't think the greatest performance is done. And there's no performance on vinyl. When I saw the Toronto Symphony, which is no slouch of an orchestra, and Peter Ungen do it, the first time they did it, a lot of them got lost, and his head was in the score the whole time. If you notice conductors on YouTube, when they're conducting anything by John Adams, the head's in the score all the time because the time changes constantly. If you type in short ride in a fast machine, it's about a 6-minute piece. It's arranged for band and arranged for orchestra. It's amazing. It's a wonderful piece. And you see the conductors, especially high school band conductors, it's in the score. It's nonstop. Anyway, the Harmonielehre is in 3 movements. First is untitled. He imagined he had a dream. Don't these composers, they always have these dreams where the a massive tanker in San Francisco Bay went up on his back and shot into the space like a rocket. And it sounds like it. It's amazing, very powerful, a lot of energetic rhythms. The second one is based on the Grail, Holy Grail, the M. Fortis wound is called. The third one, I figured I remembered what it was about. It's called Meister Eckhart and Quacky. Meister Eckhart is a 15th century mystic that he'd been reading about. And Quacky is the name they gave their daughter because she used to quack like a duck when she was a baby. So the dream that he had was little Quacky was sitting on Meister Eckhart's shoulders and they were flying through space, which is a crazy dream. But the way it starts, it's like a rocking in 6/4 time. and it just builds and builds to this massive ending to an E flat major chord and the timps, and then the horns and trumpets. This incredible ending. So I encourage you to please try and listen to it. Now there's a dissenting opinion over on my right from the other peanut gallery, from the producer. She does not like. She says, Anthony, it doesn't go anywhere, and that's a common criticism of minimalist music. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my recordings. This recording is stunning, and I'll tell you why. It's the first recording, 1986, I think, by San Francisco, and Edo de Waard, a very fine conductor, Dutch conductor, and it's all new to them. So how they played it so well is, I mean, I know they're professional players, but it's all new music, new notation, and it's just, you know, remarkable. So you can get, if you have that, you're fine. That's a very famous recording that Simon Rattle, CBSO. Many people love that recording. There's Meister Eckhart in the bottom right, and there's the tanker in San Francisco Bay. That, I think, if you can get it, it's very expensive on eBay because you can't get it separated. But that's with the Berlin fill and John Adams conducting. It's the best played. It's very, very good. Very, very good. It's also got short rod and a fast machine, which is good. That's a very interesting one. That's with Peter Ungen, but he recorded it with I'm surprised he didn't record it with Toronto. The Royal Scottish. It's very good, very well played. Beautiful recording by Chandos. It's also got the Dr. Atomic Symphony, which is a lovely piece. This one I'm slightly disappointed. It's beautiful recording, beautiful sounding orchestra, but it misses some of the anger and the energy I think. But you might. And this is the real famous one. This is San Francisco's with Tilson Thomas. This is on their own records. It's got Harmonielehre and short rod and the fast machine. If you don't have a recording of it, that's the one I'd recommend. It's very good. Okay. Now let me just go. Let me get out of here. Remove. Okay. Does anybody have a recommendation? Scott, there's nothing on vinyl, right?
I couldn't find anything. No. I haven't heard it though.
No, it should have a listen. It's really wonderful. Jack, did you get a chance to stream any?
You know, when I'm on the road like this, obviously that's all I have. And I did listen to the Berlin recording on Cubos the other night. And of course my little speaker here is pretty. It's pretty not good, but for Forks, Washington, it's amazing. It was interesting. I'm going to listen to it more when I get home. It's hard to judge, but musically, it's very interesting. I think the guy is very talented.
Oh, it harmonically, it gets me. It overwhelms me. Let's go to some comments here. Leanne says, yes, the Montreal Symphony Nagano. She likes that. Andrew from Oz loved Amfortis movement too. I'm not a big fan of that movement, but it's I can see the people why they like it. It's very interesting sounds. I love the first and third movement. David Robertson, St. Louis. It is Sky. You're right. It's very, very good. Remember that. Now, Ryan in Maui says Nonsuch has it on vinyl.
Well,
and I wonder what performance that is. That's interesting. And Postal Playboy Maestro. I listened to the Adams Symphony all week. I loved. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad it's really. Oh, Andrew said it's San Francisco Symphony. Do it on Nonsuch vinyl. So that's the original one with what's his name? The Dutch.
Tilson Thomas.
No, the first one, the Dutch conductor.
Oh, Edo de Waard, is it?
Edo de Waard. It's very, very good. Good. Great. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so Jack, do you have anything to show us today?
well, you know, again, a couple things.
Jim, do you have a Harmonielehre? Sorry, I missed Jim. Did you listen to one?
Yeah, I mean, mine is the Rattle one. And the reason I like the Rattle one is it's recorded in Birmingham Symphony Hall. And I like I really do like the acoustic of that hall. I think, Rattle was very lucky and the CBSO very lucky. They've got probably the greatest hall in Britain there.
Mhm.
And that sort of music works well in that space. We also went and heard, was it Sibelius there?
With Sakari Arama was wonderful.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, thanks, Jim. And what about Carl? Do you have one? Did you get a chance to listen? It's not an easy listen. Not an easy listen. I know
They
that.
weren't. So I can't say I have a favorite. I just learned by listening to some of these. So I had actually many of the same ones you did. I mean, there was this one. that you
Yeah,
just-
it's very good.
That's
Yeah,
the one. Yeah. Yeah.
there was also there was this one.
it's very good.
Mm.
When I mean, there's not that many that I found actually. It was about
No.
7 total. So I listened to some pieces of some of them. There was the rattle one, and then there also was that one you talked about as well.
Yeah, that's the famous one.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
thank you guys, because it's a challenging piece. Like I said, some people love it, like myself. I'm madly in love with it, still am, almost 20 years later. And Jan says and I listen to it all the time. There is a wonderful performance on YouTube with Rattle and the LSO, perfect orchestra for it, perfect conductor for it, and they play the living hell out of it. It's fantastic. I think they've got the last one on right now, and should definitely watch it. And sorry, go ahead, Carl.
There's a quote I found of the one he did when he was at the Berlin Philharmonic for a year when he conducted the one you talked about. Remember, and there was one of the players made a quote I caught. It said, "John is such a fine and humble musician. It's a pleasure to work with him, and he always manages to make us laugh. During the Harmonielehre rehearsals, we were not getting the speed of the piece quite right, and John, who was conducting, took all of the blame, saying, quote, 'The conductor is not quite managing to get the tempo just how the composer wanted it.'"
You'd be surprised how many. I mean, I've seen him conduct it. There's a great one with the Tokyo Metropolitan Symphony with him conducting a recent one. And the orchestra are very concentrating, and he's having difficulty with it. He wrote the damn piece. Sky says, "I do agree with Jan." Oh, what a surprise! Sky agrees with you, Jan. Jan says, "Thanks, Sky." Okay, so we've done Harmonielehre, and thank you all for playing along. I really appreciate it. Next week, your homework is this. And we will have time to do it because here it is. Prokofiev Symphony No. 5. That's just one recording I just grabbed for the image. And there's lots of that. That's one of the greatest symphonies of the 20th century. There's another one for you, by the way, who asked that question before. So there's that. So please figure that out. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite, and people can come up, and we'll see how many. And we're going to go to the vault and see who has some. Let me just get that up there. Okay, there's the stream. That's the one, Alan. Just copy that into Chrome or into your Safari on your iPhone and see if it works. Okay.
Yeah. Come on
Okay.
up.
So let me just.
You too, Joey.
Yes.
Joey.
Yes.
You all
Okay.
should start the
So-
Joey.
Oh, we got someone. Oh, hey, Danny, how are you?
Hey,
Hello.
Danny.
Hello.
Hi, Danny.
Hi,
And
Danny.
Ryan.
Hello.
Hey, Ryan, how you doing?
Hello, Ryan.
So that's 6, 7, 8. We've got 2 more to go. So we can do 2 more. How you doing, Danny?
Pretty good. How's everybody doing?
Very good.
Great.
Good.
It's been a wonderful week. Jack is now a member of the gallery. Oh,
Hello.
and hang
Hello.
on. Hang on.
Hello.
It's cranberry sauce.
Oh,
Oh,
And Sky came with, Sky's like, damn it, I'm not getting left out.
get out your
Jan,
credit card.
And your other boyfriend's here. Cranberry sauce. Alan, we can't see you, bud. We can see. Can you maybe focus your camera?
Let's see. Okay.
We see what looks like the cleft of a bum cheek. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, we'll let you. We'll let you see if you can figure it out. So, Danny, how are you doing, my friend? What's going on?
I'm doing fine. I was able to pick up Fritz Reiner. I got it for a birthday gift from
Show
Analog
us. Show us.
Productions.
Hang on. Let me get you up there. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the
I
Model
picked that
4.
one up.
Beautiful.
Sounds excellent. And
Yeah, I
Excellent.
haven't picked that up yet. That's
And
the
then-
AP release.
yes, it's a AP
Yeah,
release.
yeah.
And then I just thought I'd put up my Christmas stuff. My son put up my Christmas tree for me for Christmas. And I got the Sinatra LA is My Lady that just got released. The Larry Walsh remix. And I got a couple of got this at the antique shop for like 98
Great.
cents. Excellent condition. And this one too.
But what is that?
Let me just get you big. Hang on there, bud. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool record too. Great cover.
Yeah. Hey Scott, I was able to finally listen to that stereo action. And you're right. It goes from one way, once to the right, to the left. It just kept going. I was like, I can't listen to this. Now I know what Scott's talking about.
It's nuts. Yeah. A viewer sent me a couple more, and I'm like, oh, well.
Yeah, they got a couple of I guess a couple of YouTube videos with those albums on it, and I was like, I really wasn't impressed. And I said,
No.
What he's talking about.
That was quite the style back in the late '60s and '70s when stereo first came out. To have that, it's annoying.
Yeah. Dueling channels and stuff. Yeah, it's a little crazy.
Queen of the Cat. That's Ozzy. Good evening, Anthony, Scott, Jack, James, Angie, Carl, Danny, Ryan, Sky, Cranberry Sauce, and Joey. Hi, Ozzy. How are you? Awesome. Now, poor Cranberry Sauce is still having some problems. Maybe email me this week and we can have a tech check. I like to do with the guests and show you how to do it. It's really easy. It's just have to make sure you got a pretty good camera with your laptop. So Ryan, what's going on with you? I was fascinated by your mono choice last week. Your was it Paul Kletsky? That was great, and you had them in the car.
Yeah. I was moving them back between my office and home. So my carts at work were all going down. I had really bad luck losing tips and damaging them. My good ones at home are fine, but my work ones, which I actually listen to a lot more, because I can listen to them for about 8 to 10 hours a day, as opposed to home where I have to get off everybody else.
Fabulous. Well, welcome to the stage, Cranberry Sauce. Let me get you big there, Alan.
You made it.
Oh, there
How
you
are
go.
you? Just push it.
There he is.
Push the screen down just a little bit. Just push the screen down a little bit more. Little bit
That's
more.
good.
I can hear you, and you look great.
Oh,
Very
thanks.
handsome with a great backdrop. Look at all those records, you bugger. Are they all from Angie?
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I have two screens. I'm going to try and shut down one. Right now,
I think he's frozen
I'm
up.
looking at StreamYard Studio, and this one is.
I see you perfectly. I see you perfectly.
Yeah, you're coming in good.
Yeah, you're fine. You going to show us some records?
Yeah. Okay. I'll try this.
Oh, there he is, Mr. Sauce. Ha ha.
This is the Larita one I bought.
Oh yeah.
Really nice strings. I've only listened to side one, but very
That's a
wonderful.
beauty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Fabulous.
choice.
Then let's see. I got. I bought I was looking for the Mercury Living Presence, and so I got this one, which sounded.
I don't have that one.
Okay.
How is
Wow.
it?
Well, it's
I like
Dorati
it.
and the
Oh, it's
LSO.
wonderful. Really powerful.
Yeah.
This
Beautiful covers.
one- This was the prize for me.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Your favorite record.
This one is just fantastic.
Is that an original?
It is. It is. I looked it up. You know, I
Oh.
already entered it on Discogs. I'll show you.
Wow.
Let's see.
Good for you. That's a beauty.
Beautiful. Magnificent in every way.
1958 or 59, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Recorded in 57.
Then this one, I love the cover, but it was also very good too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Cuba Libre.
Oh yeah.
I do have that too.
And again, this one I never heard of, but it sounded
sure,
very
song.
good.
Yeah, lovely. Lovely. Nice piece. Good. I mean, the Pariah and the Detroit Symphony. I mean, amazing.
Where are you finding these?
This was at the Capitol Audio Fest. There was a guy who has a record. He has an online store as well, but he had a couple of boxes of classical records. So I went there, and I agree with a comment from one of the peanut galleries that there weren't as many vendors as I've seen in the past as well, which is just as well, because then I could spend more time listening to music.
Yeah, it can get overwhelming otherwise.
Oh, beautiful.
Right? Wow.
These are great.
Well.
Yeah. Let's just a few more, just about done. And
no, show as many as you like.
Okay. Another Wagner.
Yeah.
Mercury Living Presence.
Alan, let me ask you, what's your system you play it on, just so we can get a kind of an idea.
Sure. Okay. And I already know your opinion of this because I read it. An audio file, and Angie agrees with you, but that's okay for me as an upgrade. So I have let's see, it's a Clear Audio Performance DC turntable with I think it's a Clarify tone arm, very long one. I think it must be the 12-inch. And I started out with I think it's called the Concept MC.
Very good.
Then I went up to the Essence a few years ago, and then in July I got this is the one, the Kasiki Purple Heart. Anyway, for my system, it's an improvement.
A lot of people, I was an outlier review. A lot of people, but you know what, Alan? A lot of people got sucked into the influencing. It's great. You put it over the kanji, but the thing is, that's a kind of a hodgepodge.
Right.
But I called the distributor. She's sitting here on the show, and she didn't like it. It was fine. It was fine. It was a good cartridge. I mean, as long as you're enjoying it, that's all that matters, right?
That's right. But now I know about Phase-mation, so maybe next time, a couple of years from now, we'll see.
Oh, I don't like Phase-mation. Get rid of that line.
Okay. And then it's through a Sutherland Insight phono stage.
Okay.
And it goes into a Rogers 65V integrated tube amplifier through 2 Usher speakers. They're floor standards.
Wow,
The Apolito system, a driver, then the tweeter. I'm not pronouncing it right, but anyway.
No.
And then
and
also got this one, which I played on Angie's system, which is really wonderful. And what was interesting was just comparing the tonal differences that Angie pointed out from the Mercury Living Presence compared to Living Stereo. And there's a real difference. And it was nice to hear that on Angie's system at the show.
Yeah.
They're wonderful.
Yeah.
And then just quickly, I haven't listened to this yet. This is an OGC, so it's a reissue.
Oh,
I picked that up. And, my first exposure to Victor Feldman, I think, was on the Steely Dan album, where he plays the vibes on one of those songs.
No, he plays the flapamba on the on Pretzel Logic, and it's brilliant. And what he's doing is sitting he's sitting there warming up, and they put the recording on, and a lot of the reviews was like, "Oh, look, they didn't realize he's sitting there showing off, saying, 'I'm new, here I am, listen to me play. Now shut up and follow.'"
And then this is that's Michael Fremer.
There's Michael Fremer.
Because I went in the room to buy this album, which he was a technical consultant on. And I can tell you, this album sounds so good.
It is good. Yeah.
What kind of music is it? What kind of music?
Okay, the vocalist is Patrick Leonard. His voice, hard to describe. It's more like Mark Knopfler. The singing, it's all low voice, almost like talking most of the time. My favorite songs are when there's a woman who's singing on it. I like her voice a lot better. But, so there's another guy who sounds like Mark Knopfler who's been on some audiophile recordings, Alan Walker or Alan something, I forget his name. So it's kind of like that. But Robert Ludwig mastered it or cut the lacquer, whatever. And it's just the sound quality to hear something coming out, 2023 and 2024 to still sound this good. The sound stage, it moves around quite a bit. So I was really impressed. And the thing is, a week before I listened to it, I have a little streamer I just got, and I listened to it, and I said, I don't know if I really like this. but I saw it and I said, I'm gonna buy it, and I'm glad I did, just to hear how good it sounds on vinyl. So
Fabulous. Where do you live, Alan?
yeah, I live outside of Washington D.C. in Northern Virginia.
Fantastic. You're getting a lot of lovely comments. Scott says, now I know who scooped me on all the living presents. Leanne in Lachute, Quebec says, lovely selections, cranberry sauce. And then, of course, anything with Scott LaFaro is worth listening to. Absolutely.
Exactly. That's really caught my eye. I just know him from Bill Evans, and I'm looking forward to listening to that.
Well, it's fabulous to have you, Alan. I'm so glad. Please come up. Great records. Now, we've got some time to show some records. Other records, okay? And Angie, you get cracking on that online store. We all want to.
Yeah, in the new year. Yeah.
So, Jim,
Vinyl Gateways.
Oh, you got a name? Vinyl Gateway.
It'll be called vinylgateways.com.
All right.
Do you have that? Oh, good.
And there'll be lots of esoteric stuff on it.
We'll be watching. Jim, do you have any records to show? Oh, hang on.
Yeah, I've got a few. Yeah.
Hang on. Jim, Alan's been on 5 minutes. He's hogging the stream. No, hang on. Just give me a second. I'm just teasing
cool.
Alan. Go, sorry, go show again.
There you go.
Oh,
there I am.
Shalina, look at that.
And let's see.
That's great. I'm so glad you guys all met up. Okay, let's get Jim to watch.
You've got fans, Anthony.
Well, okay. We know Jan's got a fan. His name's Sky.
You got
it. Sky. Jan says, Anthony, don't be jealous.
Is anybody?
Sorry, Jim. Go ahead, bud.
Is anybody getting ready for the Beatles 64, the 1960 Capitol albums in monos to come out next week?
No.
I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to go to Target to buy just the Meet the Beatles on the blue vinyl.
I ordered Meet the Beatles and Beatles 64 and something new.
Whatever rock you. Go ahead, Jim. Show us your records.
Okay, well, the start one is Respighi, Fountains of Pines of Rome, LSO, Malcolm Sargent. And it's on a label called Adagio. Now, it's a brand new record. I think it must have been in some warehouse for years, as most of them are. Scott, I don't know anything about Adagio pressings. Do you?
No, I do not.
Wow.
So that's one to look into, I think.
Huh. I wonder who recorded that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's probably an EMI one that they bought the license to. But anyway. The next one is this Rachmaninoff Symphony No. 1, Leningrad Phil, Kurt Sanderling. And it's an Everest pressing.
Oh, okay.
Again, I think it's been in some sort of factory warehouse, but I mean, the old Everest label. It's in beautiful nick. Absolutely beautiful.
How much?
99p.
99p.
Oh, bugger off.
And then this was the other one again.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
This is 90. Oh, was this? Oh no, this is £1.49.
Yeah, but that's a good present.
That looks really good.
But Victrola, and also it's again, it's hardly. I don't know. I can't even see any. There's a bit of dust on it. I have to clean it, but And then finally, this. Which I love these, the old concert classic season. The Tempest, Tchaikovsky, Ballet Egyptian, Fustulari, Philharmonium, Royal Philharmonic.
Oh.
And it's on the old blue HMV concert classics. And again, virtually, I think it's brand new, virtually unplayed. Anyway, there we go. So that was my little haul for this week.
Well, there we go. Look, we've got about 15 minutes left. We've got 10 people up, which is wonderful. And someone came up and it said that's why I stopped talking. There was a flash and it said, "Oh, someone else is trying to come up, but you already have 10. Would you like to upgrade?" Which is like $2,000 a month. Whoever it was, we love you, but no. I could see Sky jumped on like. First of all, we had cranberry sauce with what looked like the cleft of a bum cheek. and then and then everything was fine. Right. And so, does anybody have besides Scott, because we have some records? Jack, do you have anything with you?
Just have one. You know, this came in a couple days before I left on this trip, and this is a new box. You can find a lot of these records in not in a complete set. This is 40 CDs. I think it was about $80. I found it on eBay, brand new. And I'll tell you, there's some great stuff in here. It's the Doheny with Cleveland, the complete Cleveland Orchestra set on Decca. It sounds great, and it's just it's worth having if you can find it. There's one or two on eBay. The Mahler, but
that's a good deal.
Amazing and just some great stuff.
Jack,
I know that James Myers will be happy that you purchased that.
Yeah,
Jack, did you get it? Were you able to get it without any issues? Because I'm still going back and forth the guy with my Fritz Reiner.
Oh yeah.
On eBay,
I lost $29.
Yeah, on eBay, I only buy new. I don't buy anything used on eBay. It's got to be new. And it was fine. I mean, it was brand new. It was sealed, unopened. It's real good.
And how much did you pay for it, Jack?
I think I paid about $80, $90. It was under $100.
Good price, yeah.
Yeah, 40 CDs. And there's the Smith. I listened to the Smith thing. There's about three. It's great stuff on there. It really is. And Decca Pressing is great.
Well, you guaranteed a great performance. I mean, it's Cleveland, right?
Yeah, pretty
Sky,
much.
Did you have it? Did you get anything new?
Did I get any new?
Anything to show us?
I got plenty of stuff, but I will wait. It's just I am overwhelmed.
Go get my credit cards. I'll be.
Yeah, I'll just recommend two pretty quick for those that are just getting the classical. Of course, I'm going to stick with my string quartet. This is the B6 with Melos quartet, and
that's fabulous.
Especially the Ravel piece on this. I mean, most people really play the WC, but I really like the Ravel, especially the second.
I know it's gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah.
And you can find that pretty reasonably. So what I'm showing is just something really reasonably priced, and it sounds really great. And you can't go wrong with the Orpheus Chamber Orchestra with the Dvorak Serenades. Oh my gosh. If this is a digital, so ignore it. Forget the digital word, because it doesn't sound digital whatsoever. It is very it's actually, you have to really pump up the volume on this, but it sounds great. And
it's a very famous early
you can pick this up about, I don't know, maybe $5.
Yeah, but I had the box set, which is one of the best values, because you get like 80 CDs and it's like $50. And you get it on eBay, and it's like everything is just, it's like the original Academy Cinemas of the Fields, just fantastic performances.
And
where is that orchestra from?
New York City.
It is New York.
Yeah.
And if the second movement doesn't touch your soul, you have no soul. It will make you cry.
It is beautiful. Two beautiful pieces. Ryan, did you have something to show? Ryan, did you have something to show?
Yeah. Hyperion.
Oh yeah, Finger on the Breath of God.
Oh right, yeah.
We don't see a lot of the older music, pre-Bach kind of things. One of my favorite composers. I love that record, but after about half an hour, that craved more polyphony. So this is one of my favorite composers, Joe Scan.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, and Gamel, that's a great record too. Tyler Scott is a fantastic. Now that's the Hildegard of Bingen. Is that the new one? Is that the new one that's out? I've got that on order. Is that the new one, or is that an old one? Is that the new Hyperion one? The new pressing of the Hildegard of Bingen? That's okay, no problem. You froze up there, bud.
He froze.
Yeah, all the way until he comes back. Anyway, so now Jim, you've seen Carl. We've looked. Angie, we've done. Okay, Scott, you're going to show us a few records tonight. We got about.
Yeah, I got a couple. One that I pulled out when you were talking about it, the Requiem. So this is a budget reissue on Classics for Pleasure. Same performance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not up to spend, how much is that other reissue?
$100.
Yeah. There are alternatives out there.
Have you spun that after your system changed, Scott?
I haven't yet. No, I'm going to play it tonight since it came up in the conversation.
Yeah, it's a really good piece.
I will let you know what I think for sure.
That's the Scott. That's the UK pressing from the 70s.
Yes, Classics for Pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice pressing. I remember playing it a few times, but I haven't played it on my new system. I got a couple of vocal records from the Dynagroove era, but they do sound really good. And I love Leontine Price's voice. This is arias from Purcell to Barber. And then there's a follow-up one. This one here. They're both box sets with beautiful books.
Beautiful.
This is from Handel to Puccini. And this is a famous record. It's actually got so many stickers on it, like awards.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Milstein, yeah, won Grand Prix de Disc and Gramophone. What?
What's the condition of those records?
Good, very good.
Fabulous.
I have two different sets. One's an earlier one and one's a later one. Same thing. So
I think Jim, they're Jim's favorites.
Mm.
And I pulled a few Deutsche Gramophones. I haven't shown these on the channel, but these are some of the ones I have.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a famous
one. This is a few.
Oh, that's gorgeous. I love that record.
Yeah.
I had that record when I was a kid.
What a beauty.
It
Very
is.
nice. This is great too. Sibelius violin concerto.
Oh, I don't know. Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's
That won a few awards as well. Just a couple more. I know we're running out of time here.
I agree with Armin. Yeah.
It's a
Mm.
great
Oh,
cover.
the Krupa Schumann. Beautiful.
Yeah. And this, I always like this one, just because it's just so pretty to hear the harp by itself.
Beautiful. He's a fine harpist, Zavaleta.
Yeah.
Albans, yeah.
And a couple of modern things. Stockhausen.
Oh, wow. Man.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, then Harmonielehre should be a walk in the park for you.
Yeah, it probably would be. I'm going to check it out this week. I'm sorry I didn't this week.
That's
but-
okay. No problem. Oh, two Stockhausens.
Yeah, two Stockhausens. And one
Scott,
final.
Are these new? Did you just get these? Are these new?
No, they've been in my collection for a while. This one's maybe Sky knows this one.
You can't go wrong with Amadeus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're fantastic.
They're just fantastic.
Well, that's it for me today.
Wow. What a
Thanks.
team. What a team. Let me get you. So,
I got something.
beg your pardon?
I got something for Scott.
Oh, Angie,
Oh,
let me get you big, Ange. Hang on.
I've got, okay,
For who?
this is for Scott. Take a
Mhm.
look. Reel to reel tape.
Oh,
The whole,
Boom.
the whole.
Nah, 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 nah. Not gonna hear
beautiful.
stuff. That's just one
Wait.
of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
So
That's-
it's a set of 5 reel to reel tapes.
Really? Wow.
Everyone's so Scott. So there's Scott. Everyone's going down tonight.
Well,
Alan
Scott
came
and I
on.
are into reel to reel, so I needed
know.
to show it to him.
Alan
Yeah.
came
I
on.
don't go on
kicked
his
ass.
channel.
Scott's sulking because Alan came on and kicked ass. Okay. Listen, guys, just got a
Thank
couple
you
of
for showing those, Angie.
amazing.
I'm
Ange.
jealous.
For sure.
Oh, hang on, Ange. Ready? Ancient Wings.
Ancient Wings.
And KRWD. Wow, that's really nice. First time seeing reel-to-reel set like that. I know. I mean, Angie's got, you know.
Oh, Oswaldo called me and said my Pioneer deck is almost finished. It's been restored.
Good.
So you'll have to send those up, Ange.
Yeah. I found two reel-to-reel like you found. I've got two that I just found in the warehouse. One of them is a Tamberg.
Oh,
And I think I've got to get those two checked out.
yeah.
So reel-to-reel fans.
I have the
Already-
Tanzberg. It works well.
Are
And
customers coming in for those?
yeah, I think so.
I'm sorry?
Are customers inquiring about reel-to-reel at your shop?
You know, I have two serious guys, and I've got one guy that's got 5 reel-to-reels. Not one is less than $5,000 or $6,000.
Yeah.
And he scouts them out and has them totally rebuilt. And then there are, of course, those guys that rebuild them and change the amps and really go a full hog on it,
Right.
which I haven't done. I stick with my Revox, just like you've got right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But there are serious people that really go over my head when it comes to this reel-to-reel thing.
With
I'm not going to
reel-to-reel.
spend $500 on a new tape.
Yeah, I know.
It's just painful. It's
Yeah.
funny. I'll spend it on a cartridge, but I won't spend it on a tape.
Well, one album for $500
Priorities.
is a lot.
And,
I have a
Priorities.
reel-to-reel.
Yeah.
I have a
and
reel-to-reel player. It's Sony, but I have it in the shop right now. Guy in Fort Worth is working on it. I was
yeah.
able to get I got like maybe 5 Jackie Gleason reel-to-reel tapes
Yeah.
from his lounge, and I got Love Is a Thing. I was able to pick up sounds from they sound
I
real
have
good.
Isn't that
Great stuff.
cool?
In the 70s, I used to do a lot of my analog recordings on tape. And unfortunately, I got divorced, and the revenge was to throw out all my reel-to-reel tapes that I spent hours recording.
That wasn't. No.
So there's the story.
One more from Ryan. Go ahead, Ryan.
During the pandemic, I was on a Hillary Hahn solo kick, so I got her one of her Bach albums. It's the only one on vinyl, I believe. So only 3 of the 6. So 2 of the sonatas and Partita number 1. Decca. She's very good. Yeah, I do have. I think we talked about that recently.
Yes.
I don't know
we
if
talked about it
people
last
know
week.
about this one. This is a Decca. She commissioned this herself from composer Anton Garcia Abril.
Oh. Cool.
And
Nice.
it came out in 2019. He died in the pandemic. He got COVID in 2021 and died, unfortunately.
Oh my goodness.
But if you never heard of this, if you like her solo violin music, you might be interested in that. This is
Hang on.
another. This is Ruth Palmer.
Oh, cool.
This is
that's
this is a very audiophile recording. You can hear her breathing. It was done in one take, direct to disc.
and that's a 45.
Yeah, it's 45 Emil Berliner Studios.
Yep.
Rainer Maillard was the producer. And it has all of the tells you what microphones they use and everything on the back. It's kind of hard
Cool.
to see.
I can't believe you're in the car, Ryan, in Maui, showing these records. By the way, your children, your son or daughter in the back, I can't tell, is incredibly well behaved. They sat there the whole time last time. So tell them, is it a boy or girl?
It's a boy.
Boy, tell your young man there, very well done. Very, because he's probably saying, Dad, can we go get an ice cream, please? We're living the large life in Maui. Come on, get this old man music off. Listen, guys, we got to go.
Yeah.
I will tell you, first of all, Jack, thank you so much for joining the gang tonight. Love having you. Scott, amazing first review for Audiophilia. You're going to be on the Masthead soon. We've got the Masthead review in process, and it's going to surprise everybody. It's going to be a debut review, and I love that the manufacturer, who we like very much, contacted you as well. And for all the people in the peanut gallery, thank you so much. Alan, it's so good to see you. My goodness, you know, and all our regulars, Danny, and Sky, and of course Ryan, and of course Angie, our special guest, and of course Jim and Carl, our mainstays with Audie Freely. I couldn't do it without him. Love having him. So guys, we'll be back next week. No guests. I'll have lots more time for records. I had a whole lot of records here. I didn't even get a chance to show them. That's fine. That's fine. We got someone in. Now, Jack, will you be home next week?
I will be home next week. I can't
Good.
wait.
We want to see some records, okay?
Yeah.
And Jim, I thought you were told by your better half there's no more buying records, even at 99p. How come you have more records? Did you buy them?
Snuck into the shop last week. But they're getting thinner and thinner. People are realizing that, you know, they're getting harder to find.
Yeah. Anyway,
No
and Sky
records.
and
No more
Sky-
records.
Yes, Sky in Kansas City and Danny in Fort Worth. It's great. Cranberry in DC is great, and Ryan out in Maui. We're very jealous. Carl in New York. Wow, what a team! So
right.
great show tonight, guys. And so we'll see you next week. Have a great week. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Stick around for the after party. You guys on the screen.
Hi, everyone.
All right.
Bye.